Let's go off the charts here on the ML Sports Platter, brought to you by our good friends at CH Insurance. Of course, chinsurance.cc for personal and commercial insurance plans, as well as group benefits, chinsurance.cc. So I have double trouble this week on the ML Sports Platter from the Eagles. That's right. Noah Eagle joins us now. Dad Ian Eagle joins me Friday, and we're all about the Final Four, and we're going to ask Noah a few questions here as well, here on Off the Charts, the tremendous rising superstar broadcaster for NBC Sports, national side, Clippers, NFL, you know it, since 2019 with his days on the Hill at Syracuse University. What's up, Noah?
Well, guys, it's great to be here, first and foremost. Second, I think when you said double trouble from the Eagles, people thought Saquon Barkley and Jordan Davis, or maybe you were going back for a little Hotel California rendition of your own. So I'm glad that we've come together and gotten to this point. It's an honor.
No doubt. Yeah, a little tush pushing our way into the interview, perhaps, because it's around its state. I want to quickly just get a Final Four preview from you, man. I mean, I know you're a huge hoops guy, and goodness, the second time in history we have all number one seeds. You're close enough to college. You see enough in the NBA. You follow it all. Give me a quick couple of minutes here before I turn it over to Joe on the Final Four in San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, it should be fantastic. I think if you go back to that 2008 Final Four, you had four incredible programs and four incredible teams that led to one of the all-time great national championship games with Memphis and Kansas. And, of course, Kansas with Mario Chalmers making a big shot to send it to OT, eventually prevailing over Derrick Rose and John Calipari and that Memphis team. You know, this year it's about star power. It's interesting because three of the four teams are really predicated on seniority and experience, and for Auburn in particular, and really for Houston as well, the continuity that they bring from last year into this year. And then you have Walter Clayton, I think, has been one of the biggest risers in terms of NBA stock through the tournament with his play down the stretch in games and winning games for his team, winning time plays. He's been just spectacular. But Duke, to me, is probably the most dangerous and impressive team altogether. The depth that they have, the high-end talent, the three freshmen that headline, whether it's Flagg, obviously going to be the number one overall pick, and everybody knows just how good he is. But I think Con Knippel has shown how important and impactful he can be. And I got to see Kamen Malawach during the Olympics this year in Paris. He was playing for South Sudan. And at that time, I think he was still 17 years old, playing with grown men, playing against LeBron James and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and legends, Nikola Jokic of the game, and holding his own. And defensively, he was really mind-boggling in how just his instincts were already there. He was always in the right place at the right time. And his offense has already improved greatly from the beginning of his freshman campaign until now. So I'm excited to see what that Duke team looks like this weekend. I did a lot of college basketball this year in the Big Ten and the Big East. I did the first weekend of the tournament in Milwaukee and saw a lot of really, really great teams. But it's been apparent, I would say, from really day one this year that these four have separated themselves. And there's a reason that they've made it to this point. And so as a result, we should have three fantastic games in San Antonio.
Well, are you going to – great to meet you, by the way, Noah. Love seeing you. Love your dad over the years with the excitement, and it's great to see the son following in his footsteps. Speaking of fathers, my father and I'm in the insurance business, the wonderful insurance business. I partnered with my dad 25 years ago, and it's been great and special. And I guess the question I think of you guys, would you ever want to call play-by-play with your dad right next to you? And if you did, who would be the color commentator? What would you do? Would you let Dad run the show? Or it may happen someday. I would love to see it.
I'm doing stats, by the way. I got stats.
You got stats? You're already calling dibs on it?
And then, we'll make it out for the dinner, but would you love to see that? I think it's going to happen.
Yeah. You know what's funny is a lot of people have brought that up, and we've done little things in the past. When I was a student at Syracuse my junior year, we got really fortunate that he got assigned to Syracuse-Miami basketball game, and I got to go for WAER, the student station, and call it on the radio. And so we did a little interview where I interviewed him, and it definitely got a lot of traction. And so we just thought, hey, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We might never get another chance to do something like this again. So we have to take advantage of it. And shout out to Sean Salisbury, who was a year ahead of me in school and the student director, the sports director at the time at WAER, and he had to give the okay, and he did. So I give him a ton of credit, and a couple other guys who really were selfless to allow that to happen. But again, we didn't think that it was going to continue to happen. And then sure enough, I get the job with the Clippers out of school, and we have a couple other games where similar situations pop up. And the first time I ever got to do an NFL playoff game on network television was 2 years ago. I did the Texans Browns playoff game, wild card, first game of the playoffs. And who was doing it on Westwood One but him? And so we've been just randomly put in those situations. But to actually call a game together would be pretty incredible. We've been asked many times if it'll ever happen. It's out of our control to a certain degree. But if we ever did have that opportunity, first and foremost, I've been told to respect your elders. So it's important to make sure that I defer to the guy who's been doing it for my entire life. And the second part of it of picking an analyst would be the most interesting, because there are so many that he's worked with and that I've now overlapped and worked with as well. It would be hard not to pick Bill Raftery because he's worked with him for 30 plus years. I've known him my entire life, but Richard Jefferson would be high on that list. You know, we've got a lot of shared, Sarah Kustok, we both do a lot of games with her. So it would be Dan Fouts, we both worked with plenty as well. So it would be a difficult, I almost would want it to be a rotation where we just invite like all of them to come back. And so one quarter, it's one person, next one, another one, and we see how many we can get through.
Right. It's interesting, though, and I know you just want to talk about like some of your dream things, like you do hoops, football. Could it ever lead to golf? I mean, I don't know your industry, but would you want to get into like golf and part of different sports, hockey? Does it matter to you, or do you just love what you do for, the industries and sports events that you do today?
I'm somebody who's very open to everything. And I've done a lot of tennis since I graduated. So in the last 5 and nearly 6 years, I've done a ton of tennis. Actually, Tennis Channel was the first person essentially to offer me a job when I first graduated. They beat the Clippers by about a week, and it just worked out because they were based in LA. And so I ended up doing so much tennis over the years, and it all culminated with last year, NBC sending me to go do the French Open in Paris. Oh, awesome. And it was one of the most awesome experiences. It was the second time I got to go. I got to go with Tennis Channel during COVID. So it was empty in 2020. There was nobody there. The streets were empty. There were curfews. I had to be back at my hotel at a certain time. So I actually got to go and experience it for real. And as somebody who grew up a big tennis guy, it was awesome. But the other part of that, from an artistic standpoint, it's such a change of pace from a basketball game or from a football game or many of the other sports. So yeah, golf fits in that for sure. And I love watching certainly all the majors, and I've gotten more into playing golf over the last several years, which is something my dad refuses to do because he refuses to do anything that he won't automatically be good at, which I totally can understand, by the way, because I have part of that in me. And there are moments on the golf course that I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? But I would definitely accept the challenge and embrace the uncomfortable aspect at first. And the only way to get really good at something like playing the game, same deal with broadcasting it, is to just keep doing it and keep getting those reps in. And the more you do, the easier it gets and the more fun you start to have.
You do a great job. Hats off to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Noah Eagle, NBC Sports, NFL, national broadcaster, the Olympics, on and on it goes. And, of course, the French Open as well. Noah, great to catch up with you here on Off the Charts, presented by CH Insurance. I'm going to be texting you again soon. We'll hear from your dad on Friday. It's always been a treat to chat with you. And remember, when you're in CNY, lunch is on us. Well, lunch is on Joe, but we'll
lunch and golf.
Lunch and golf. Good point.
Oh, Drumlin's is waiting, huh? I'll be ready.
Drumlin's. Right. Guess who I golf with, Noah? I'm sure you know Matt Park.
Oh, I do.
Was he one of your teachers? I got to hear about that. I'm at the Calvary Club over there. And Matt and I play occasionally. He MCs the member guest. It's hilarious. So I
love it, man. I love it.
Give a little shout out to Matty Park.
Great shout out. Matt Park was always nothing but fantastic with everybody going through, still is. I just know from all the current students and faculty there. But it's always great to hear from Matt randomly with like a photo of Red Panda at halftime of a Syracuse game. So I'll take that any day of the week.
That's good.
Noah Eagle, keep crushing, my friend. Thanks for a few.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was definitely off the charts with Noah Eagle, of course, brought to you by CH Insurance. You are in every single corner with the Eagles, and they are in your corner. I'll tell you what, man, these guys are tremendous. And Joe, I told you, this guy's a rising superstar. He and his dad, they look alike, sound alike. The professionalism, the detail, everything that they have that, you know, they bring to people's living rooms. I mean, you could just see Noah, how great he is, even just in an interview. But was so excited to get him on. And then Dad joins me on Friday for audio only, so I know you love that one.
No, that's great. I mean, so, you know, Dad's been doing it how long? Would you say,
decades.
Mike?
Yeah, decades.
But
Time.
has it been the last really 10 years he's elevated his stat, or has it been?
Oh, I mean, Ian's been at the top of the industry for a long time, you know, a long time. And obviously when Jim Nantz said, you know, goodbye from the lead March Madness voice, and Ian slipped right in there. And, you know, you think about right now with the NFL on CBS, I mean, number 2 there, number 1 March Madness. Like, you know, it's right. He's at the top of the industry, man. I mean,
Could Ian get is in 10 years, obviously Nance with the Masters, what would happen there?
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to go, man. I don't run CBS Sports. All I can tell you is Ian Eagle's one of the best in the business. But I'll give you the final word on Noah and anything in the insurance world here as we close up shop.
I'll tell you, it was great to see a 2019 graduate to where he is today. And right here is an SU grad. I thought it was great, and I wish him all the best. But he's a smart cookie, and I think he's going to do well. So that's great news. I see your partner's coming behind you.
Yeah, he's coming. He's been napping for the majority of the day, so, you know, he had to come say hi. You know how Coop does.
So, no, on the insurance front, Michael, we're still, you know, working hard. You talk about focus and diligent, like you said, with the Eagles, that's CH Insurance. And you know the team, and you know what we're going to do for you, whether you're a small business, large business, family, personal, home and auto, or group benefits. We're first quarter is over. It is so hard to believe we're into April. I can't believe it.
No doubt.
And it's not an April Fool's joke. I mean, first quarter went like this. So, you know, peel the onion back, make sure you have the right coverage out there for our viewers and listeners, and we want to help you. It's a simple phone call. We'll tell you if you're in the right place or if we can improve something. So thanks, Mike. This was awesome, off the charts, and I appreciate everything.
No doubt. Joe Jr., Mike Lindsley, Noah Eagle, thanks to him as well. It's all brought to you by CH Insurance. They are in your corner with the personal and commercial insurance plans, group benefits, and more. Go check them out at chinsurance.cc. And the final thing, congratulations to Alyssa, Joe Jr.'s daughter. 7 years at the company, the anniversary as we record this very episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. And as I always tell you, enjoy the games.